All right, welcome to the Sweet Science of Fighting podcast. A little different one today. No guest this week, but we've got some epic ones lined up. Bill Smart will be coming back on the podcast this week, and then Angus Ross, who we mentioned in that first podcast with Bill, will also be on the podcast this week. So those will be live on the Sweet Science of Fighting YouTube channel. So you can tune in there, ask questions, etc., or will be, as usual, published every Monday on Spotify and all the other podcast platforms, etc. So those are the two upcoming guests, and we've got some more coming. But as per the title of this podcast, something a little special for you guys, but also I think special for me kind of going down this road. So typically I have the Sweet Science of Fighting Underground. It's a training app. It's a Discord community that's geared towards fighters. And it's basically providing accessible training programs that people can run, so they're not running stupid bullshit like bodybuilding programs from like T Nation and whatever else as their strength conditioning as a fighter. So it's only $37 a month, and that gives them access to all the programs, and then they can ask questions in Discord, etc. But I know there are a lot of coaches who listen to this podcast, who follow me on Instagram, just who are on the email list as well, and I have no way to really, I guess, help and service kind of that kind of coaching industry. And I know within combat sports, strength conditioning it's very isolated compared to other more professional sports, right? So, for example, within other Olympic sports or rugby, you have a whole community of coaches, or you're in an environment where you're within a multidisciplinary team, you're always meeting other coaches, etc. Within combat sports, you're typically a private sector strength conditioning coach. So you're working with maybe general population to kind of pay the bills, and then you've got maybe some fighters who are training with you in your facility or whatever you're doing. And it means that it becomes very hard to find the right, I guess, sources or just information to continue leveling up what you're doing with your fighters. And yes, obviously you can follow free Instagram, YouTube, etc. I provide a lot of that as well, but that's a lot of it's surface level, right? Because you can only give so much in that context, and the audience is so wide, it can't be drilled really specific down other than, hey, it's strength conditioning for combat sports. So this is why, just actually was a conversation with Seth Linetsky this week when he kind of mentioned something about it. And I'd been thinking about doing something like this, but I hadn't really, I guess, thought about it too much until I was like, I've got a lot of coaches that would probably benefit from something like this. And there seems to be a gap in the market for this. And based on what the Instagram DMs that I got over the past 2 days, there's definitely a gap in the market to help coaches like yourselves basically just come together and learn strength and conditioning principles from coaches who have done the research, applied the research, and are currently coaching, or have already been coaching at a high level and are kind of, moved on to different roles, etc., but have that experience. And in combat sports, it's lacking, right? Because again, as I mentioned, it's kind of all private sector. It's very hard to mix and mingle in that. So this is. So this is a coaches only community. When I say coaches, it's geared towards strength and conditioning coaches. So probably the most of you that are listening. Sport coaches are also welcome. So like combat sports coaches who maybe want to level up their strength conditioning. So if they have a one-man band where they have a stable of fighters, semi-professional, professional, and they're also doing the strength conditioning for those fighters, then definitely for them too. But it's mainly geared towards, hey, the strength conditioning coaches who are working specifically with combat athletes. And that means all the information in the community is going to be geared towards that direction. So instead of having there are a lot of different communities out there, for different strength conditioning coaches and coaches that, can help upskill, but, they're not specific to this, to these sports. So that's why I'm really excited to actually launch this. It'll probably be over, honestly, you're listening to this on Monday, so probably sometime this week. So if you go down the description, I'll put a link in there that will basically be a quick sign-up link. So if you're interested in this community, if you just enter your email in that link, it means when I do launch it, you'll get the email first, because the goal is I'm going to launch it at a very, very low price at something like $27 or $37 a month. And then every 10 members or so, the price is going to go up. And the reason the price is going to keep going up is I need to be able to pay these coaches for their time and for their expertise to be able to be in that community, to be able to I'll go through what will be in the community, that will make more sense. But the idea is I need to be able to pay these coaches for their time and expertise, because one, they're very busy. Two, as someone who has gone through the system, you're paid sweet fuck all by various organizations. And you might be surprised to know that even when you're working at the very, top level of various sporting teams, you're getting paid on par with many of the cleaning staff there. And you actually get paid more per hour working for places like Dairy Queen and whatever other fast food places than you would as a strength and conditioning coach. But coaching is a profession, a vocation. You're a teacher. It's a passion that a lot of people have, and that's why we go into it. And we just love the sports. So that's another reason we're in there. But I want to be able to pay these coaches for their time, and I want to be able to pay for their expertise so you can benefit from it, which is why it will be more expensive than the Fighters training app. But the goal is that the return on investment is the knowledge you're going to gain and the knowledge and information that is in there that you won't find anywhere else. Because we've got the top if you listen to the podcast, I mean, you listen to this, you probably listen to the podcast anyway, but you know that a lot of the information that is presented on this podcast is brand spanking new stuff pushing the strength and conditioning industry forward within combat sports, and stuff that you just don't read or hear or see anywhere else except for the same old information and whatnot being pushed forward potentially by other people. So that's why I'm really excited to bring this. But within the community, this is what I want to kind of get to as I take 6 minutes to get there. So the goal is to have a monthly presentation by a coach each month. So I think the first one is going to be James Ramsey. He's going to touch on breath hold training and really go deep into the physiology about that. So the goal is to have these presentations geared towards coaches versus fighters. So when we're doing courses and stuff or doing presentations with fighters, we try and keep it really like dumbed down, practical, so they can implement it. This, I want to make it more education based. So if we're going deep into like the physiology of something, it's got to be something that's going to upskill you as a coach to be able to learn that information and present it or apply it to your athletes with an understanding of why you're doing it. Within fighters, sure, we can provide some basic understanding of why they're doing it, but it's more like a plug and play in that instance. So in this one, I want it to be real educational. So we're going to have James Ramsey to do that. Lee Brown, I think, will be the second one. He's going to really go deep into his research in Muay Thai. And then I've got, I should actually pull my sheet up. Hang on, I still haven't asked all the coaches which ones they basically are keen, but I've got most of the coaches that have been on the podcast are keen to present. So I know Andrew Usher will be presenting on his conditioning, which will be a very, I guess you could say, well-awaited, well-watched presentation. Marek, who was on not too long ago, I'm going to get him to do some stuff on, I guess, conjugate West Side kind of style. Steve Pipe with his Muay Thai stuff. Casper de Wit on his judo. He's a sports scientist and strength conditioning coach for Netherlands Judo. So he's keen to present. Wes Elliott, who was on, he owns Strike Tech, and he's got a lot of data and information testing UFC fighters and bare knuckle boxing fighters through punching. So he's got a lot of cool information that hasn't been released that he's keen to do that. Dustin Orenchuk with his isometric research, probably one of the leading isometric researchers. Seth Linetsky, when I can nail him down on times. Obviously he's one of the leading punch researchers as well. And that's just the first short cohort. I know John Mackey's keen to do some stuff on, what do you call it? The constraints-led approach or that kind of learning as well. So yeah, and there's still more and more coaches I need to reach out to and get on. So we've got some epic ones coming out. The goal is to have them to present and then to kind of answer questions. So it'll be in a thread format. So if you've used the circle.so community before, if you're part of any of those, it's like that. It's basically having your own Facebook as an app. So the circle.so app will be on your phone. You just open that. It's like a Facebook feed. And that was what it will be. So one of the threads or comments will be like the presentation. You can ask questions on that presentation, and that's the goal. And then we'll also do a monthly live Q&A and research breakdown. So essentially myself and Seth are going to go every month live starting in January. So even if you sign up now, we're kind of building into it. The goal is to lock in the lower price now. Still I've still got more coming. We'll still offer things there to give you the value. And then obviously as we grow and as the months come on, it's just going to be more and more stuff for you. But myself and Seth, and we're hopefully going to rope Andrew Usher into some of those. I haven't told him yet. So I'll tell him sometime soon. But basically, like a research breakdown. So some new papers or even some older ones. We'll talk through that research paper, kind of what we think about it, practical applications, etc. And then also, because it's live, give you guys an opportunity just to do like a live Q&A on any questions on anything to do with training you want. With Seth there, man, you've got like the biggest damn brain possible. And then hopefully with Andrew Usher in there, you got another massive brain to answer any questions there. So it's like, that's like an awesome opportunity with that one. And that will be recorded too, and that will be in there so you can watch it back later. It'll be like, it's almost like a separate podcast, I guess, but members only. And then I'm also going to do a kind of like a research review breakdown each month. So a written one. So it'll basically be a PDF, and each month will be a different issue. So the first month will be like, I think when this launches, hopefully this coming week, there will be the first issue in there. I'll just have one paper that I'm breaking down as I get all this. But the goal is to probably have, depending on how much research actually comes out in the combat sports, so I might have to venture out and kind of make it more strength conditioning based that you can apply to combat sports, but anywhere around 2 to 3 of them. And that'll be like a PDF we can go through, where what I'll do is, instead of having to sit there and read the whole paper and wonder what the hell's going on, I'm going to summarize it. So it'll be like, kind of like a little bit of the background of, why they're doing that paper, what they did. So like the subjects, the methods they used, and then my comments on it. So, sorry, not what they did, and then the results. So what they found from that study, and then my reviewers' comments, which would be like, how does this apply? Does it apply? Can it apply? What does it say with the consensus of the current or previous research on that topic? Just my general opinions on how it would work or if it wouldn't work, etc. Stuff like that. And so that would be like a written thing for you there. But the goal is to be able to kind of cover that same study with Seth in that live chat. So you kind of get a cool little like audio and written version of it, if that makes sense. So those are the 3 kind of value props that I'm looking that are going to be in there for you guys as members and coaches. And then obviously you can interact with each other in there as well, ask questions, like type questions, and I can answer them, etc. in that community as well. Obviously I don't have all the answers, but plenty of coaches in there that I want to try and make sure I pay for their time so they can be in there and answer those questions too. Hence why the price will be going up pretty much every 10 members. And then while we're at it as well, if this sounds interesting to you and you do want to sign up on the link below, whatever, or you don't have to sign up on the link below, you can just DM me on Instagram as well. I put up a story 2 days ago, and I had like 20 plus people that are keen to get in there, which is, I couldn't believe it. So you can DM me there too. But I would also like to know from you guys, if you are keen, like, is there something in particular that you've been wanting as part of, say, some coaching education? Like, is there something in a community like this that you would really, really want to help you? So remember, I've got the monthly presentations, I've got the written research review, we'll have the almost like the members only kind of podcast live Q&A style thing each month. There's those 3 things. If there's anything else, please let me know, because I want to make sure you get value out of it. I don't want to kind of just start something up and then I'm start collecting your 20, 30, 40 bucks a month and you're kind of like, you're not getting much out of it. I want to be able to provide value to you that's going to help you as coaches, because that's the whole goal of this community. And then also to have us all together and be able to help push combat sports strength and conditioning forward, instead of it still being in the dark ages like a lot of it is now. And then I also want to try offer some kind of incentives for people who are subscribing. So like, if you're there for 3 or 6 months, like to send you, I don't know, Sweet Science Fighting brand of rash guard or shorts or t-shirt, just something. Like, I want to be able to do that as well, so you guys can wear that and represent it. So I think of that. There'll also be like quarterly and yearly options. So maybe I could do something for like the yearly one, where if you sign up for yearly, you get something else. Just if you have any ideas, let me know, because like the main thing I'm focused on, I just want to provide the value for you guys, so you get something out of it. So you're not just joining this and then be like, that was a waste of time, because I would hate to do something like that and then it's kind of just like, not worth it for you guys. So yeah, that's pretty much the little announcement there with that. So check the link in the description, put your email in there, or DM me on Instagram. I'm gonna launch this, I'm tentatively saying probably like mid this coming week. So you listen to this on Monday, Wednesday, or Thursday. And I'm going to send it to the people who are on that list first, so you get the first chance to get in at the cheaper price, and then I'll go from there. But yes, got a couple of presentations already lined up, so we are ready to go. And just let me know if there's anything else you want me to do in that community that will be helpful for you. So yeah, that pretty much covers today's podcast. Hopefully it sounds like it's something exciting for you, because I'm pretty excited to get something like this going and really be able to just really dive deep and share different things. And, you know, selfishly, it also helps me develop as a coach as well, right? Being around other really great coaches with this kind of information they're able to share. So yeah, I mean, if you have any questions, DM me on Instagram, send me an email, you know, any of those. And we'll see you in the podcast. Make sure you join the live Wednesday and Thursday this week. I have to double check the times, but I'll schedule them so you have them on the YouTube channel.